Hi, my name is Carlos and I graduated from USF with a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering on December 2020, and I also worked as a tutor for the College of Engineering for about 2.5 years. And I'm here today to talk a little bit about Jeff Golobeck, who was the tutor supervisor at the College of Engineering, which I worked in. So honestly, I don't really have any bad things to say about Jeff. He's been a very good tutor and a really good supervisor. So I'm gonna start talking about how good of a tutor he was. I I always consider myself one of the best tutors at the College of Engineering. We would have about 15 to 18 tutors depending on the semester. And the reason why I could never say I consider myself the best is because Jeff was always a tutor there. Jeff is, like myself, a tutor that wants to go above and beyond in his explanations. He doesn't want the student to just know how to solve a problem. If a student goes to him asking how to solve a problem, he's going to be like, I have to, before I start the problem, I have to give you a little bit of background theory on what happens in this problem, you know. So he would always start giving some like explanation theory on things that would help you actually understand what's going on in the problem. He wouldn't just try to make the student memorize the process of solving the problem. He always had this care, you know. He cared about all of his students, and that really showed in the number of recurring students that he had, because I would have about 2 or 3 students there that would always like go, whenever they entered the room, they would go to me, and they always said that they liked my explanations better than other tutors. And while I had 2 or 3, Jeff always had like 5, 6, or 7 students waiting for him, and he would like be explaining something to one and then to another one, and then he always had a line of students just waiting. Sometimes students would wait like 30 minutes, an hour, even more, just because Jeff's explanation is what they wanted. And speaking about as a supervisor, Jeff was also really good, because in one hand he tried to let us work, do our work on our own. He was most of the time in the room while we were tutoring, but he was never a supervisor that was like, you have to teach it this way, you have to do this thing. He always gave kind of like a recommendation on what we should be talking about. And if we saw that we maybe like missed something in our explanation, he would go and say, oh, what about this, or what about that. And another good thing that he did is every semester, in the beginning of the semester, he would make tests for some subjects like calculus 1, 2, and 3, and physics 1 and 2, that would kind of like test our knowledge on the subjects. And if there was something that we didn't know, and we would just tell him, they weren't like tests that we had to score a certain grade. If we didn't know, I think it was about 20 questions, and if we knew 15 of those and didn't know how to solve 5, we wouldn't fail the test. He would instead explain us how to solve these problems, so then we can pass on that knowledge to other students. So I always thought that was a really good thing that kept our memory fresh on a lot of subjects. So I don't have good things to say about Jeff. He's always been a very caring tutor and good at his job, and I'm sure whatever he decides to do in the future, he's gonna excel at it. And that's it.